Hey, honey?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey everybody, welcome to Recipe Roulette, a cooking show where Laura's just going to be here for the first bite, are making pocket bread for this week out of the Betty Crocker cookbook. Basically, this is pita bread. That's why the episode is labeled pita bread. And yeah, let's look at the ingredients. Alright, for our pocket bread, also known as pita bread, but apparently this cookbook is so Americanized, it just says pocket bread. You're gonna need 1 1/3 cups of warm water. I just popped this in the microwave for a minute just to get it warm to the touch. It's not boiling or anything. I can stick my finger in there, no problem. We got 1 tablespoon of yeast, 1 tablespoon of avocado oil, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and 3 1/2 cups of flour. Now, what I like to do in order to get my yeast a little extra action to get ready is I will just take my hot water cup and move that into a better spot for you to see it up on the camera. I'll take my yeast, I'll add it into my hot water cup along with my sugar, and I will give this a quick little stir just to get that sugar fully dissolved. Give that yeast some time. I'm just going to give this about a few minutes just so I start seeing it bloom on top, and then we'll be back for the next step. Alright, our yeast has started to bloom. It looks like a very frothy head of beer on top of our water here. So when it gets all nice and foamy like that, that's when the yeast is bloomed. So we're going to transfer our yeast and sugar water into our bowl. To this, we're going to add our oil, and we're going to take out 2 cups of our flour. So I've only got 1/3 of a cup measuring cup cleaned at the moment. So that's 2/3, and that makes 1 cup, cup and 1/3, cup and 2/3, and 2 cups. All right. I'm just going to make a little well, pour our salt in. Remember, I don't like to put the salt directly into the yeast because that keeps it from doing its thing. So now I'm going to just blend this until it's nice and smooth, and then we're going to slowly add in the rest of the flour. So I'll come back for when we're adding in the rest of the flour. All right, we've got that all beaten in. I cleaned the beaters. I ended up getting a bunch of flour out of my hands, but easy just to stick your hands into your flour and then just kind of rub them together until all of that dough falls off your fingers. Now we're just going to take our spatula and we're just going to mix this together so we can get all that dough out of here. I think I'm going to drop this over into my bread mixer so I can get it mixed good together. So putting that flour into our mixing bowl definitely allowed us to get everything all out of there nice and good. And I'm just going to knead this together until it's all formed up into a good dough. I think when I was scooping out my flour, I might have compressed it just a little bit too much. There might actually be a little bit too much flour here, but that's okay. We can simply just grab our tea kettle, give a splash to our dough of water, and that will help us get back to having a good sticky dough that's going to absorb up all that extra flour. And I'm just going to keep cranking this until this dough is all incorporated, and then I'm going to let it rest for 30 minutes, and then we'll be back for the next step. All right, so we let this sit and go for an hour. Now I'm going to get the dough off the dough hook, put that over in the sink so we can get whooshed. I'm just going to mix this together by hand here in, just to make sure I get all these bits flour incorporated. It's got a very light and spongy texture to it. Now we need to just a few dry spots. Just want to knead this together. You don't have it a little, dry little pocket of something you're biting into. Oh, it tastes good. Take that, sit over to the side, and we're dividing this into 6 rounds. Give myself a little avocado oil onto my pan so stuff doesn't stick. Yeah. All right. Cut in half. So, just pinching it in half. Log this out. Pinch off 1 ball. Pinch 2 more balls. Do that again. Just kind of squeeze and squeeze. All right, honey. You said just cover the balls and let them rise for 30 minutes.
Yeah. Shape into balls, cover, let rise for 30 minutes.
All right. Putting our towel over the top. Setting a new timer for 30. And we'll be back for the next step.
Hey everybody. So we're a little short on time, so we're actually going to mix things up a little bit and choose our next episode. We're going to do a brunch. And so right now the pita bread dough is rising. So yeah, mixing it up. I'm going to choose the next episode now. Okay, so we've got 10 options for categories. So what category are we going to go to?
9.
Okay, that is a toasty treat. So let's turn to page 41. We've got 1, 2, 3. 4.
All right. That is number 3.
Number 3 is a cheesy popover.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It does.
All right.
Okay.
Well, let's get back to the cooking and...
Yeah. Back to pita breading, but we'll still see you next time for a cheesy popovers.
No, I'm just gonna insert this right. They just watched me like mix the bread together. We're letting it rise, and we're running to the store. We don't have to, we're not saying goodbye. We're gonna be back for showing them the next step.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, It's a little out of order. It's a little crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, bye.
Yeah, I'm getting a little ahead of myself because this is a long process, but I've just basically flattened out 3 of the pocket breads balls. We're going to keep them relatively round shape on 1 cookie sheet, Do the same thing over on this cookie sheet. Once we get them all flattened out, remember I greased up my cookie sheet a little extra. I'd have capability so these don't stick. Flatten them out. Then we're gonna let them rise for another 30 minutes. So we're setting the timer again. All right, our doughs have been sitting here in their final rest for 10 minutes. I'm taking the cup towels off the top of them. I'm gonna show them to all you nice folks. I'm gonna pop them in the oven. I got the oven preheated to 450 degrees. I'm gonna cook them for 10 minutes so they're nice and fluffy, and we'll be back for the first bite. All right, time for the first bite. Just cut these in half and stuff them full of some salad. Time to dive in. These came out great.
Yum.
Very nice, crisp, crunchy, baguette-like outer crust.
Mm-hmm.
Really fluffy inside with a lot of time. It got to rise again and again.
Yep. Yeah, great. You know, we do a lot of wraps and stuff, so this is a great alternative. Yeah. It's, like Fen said, we stuffed it with salad, but you can put pretty much anything in it.
Well, we did that whole like halfway through choosing the recipe, so we don't have to choose one for the rest of the week. So, and I got like 5 minutes before I gotta go start my D&D game. So, thanks for joining, everybody. Really nice having you check in with us each week to find out what we're cooking. Peace for me.
Bye, everybody. Hey, everybody. Thanks for staying till the end of the episode. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on Facebook at Board Barista Productions. And if you want to support us, Patreon link at the bottom.